Everybody, you are back with the crew. We got the whole crew, canine crew here this morning. Okay, today I'm going to talk about where we're going with crypto, why you're in the right space and how I know that, and why I think it's going to be a fun ride and a long ride, but a good ride getting there. Okay. So I have a great story that I told Steve, another follower, an old acquaintance from a town that he and I used to live in many years ago, Mammoth Lakes. Great little town. Just on the other side of the mountains here. So that story goes like this. When I first met my Wall Street insider, I think we all know who I'm talking about, he and I used to have just casual conversations about what's happening, where it's going, why it's going there. And he wasn't really a big fan of cryptocurrency at all. In fact, he still isn't. And that's one of the things most of us don't understand is when you're a billionaire or hundreds of millionaire, you're trying to hang on to your wealth. You don't necessarily even care about earning money. You're trying to keep the money you have or even stay level with inflation. Because if you have $1 billion, you could spend $1 million a day and you would never spend it all. I mean, it's not the way they look at money. The way they look at money is completely different than the way you and I look at it. And that's a whole nother video again, and I'm not going to go down that road today. Today I want to talk about what we talked about 6 months ago in Wall Street. What was happening with the brokers? What were they doing? What's going on? Those are the questions I thought you guys were going to ask when I first brought the guy up, but we didn't get into that much. But anyway, we talked, and I said, what are they doing? What's the psyche? What are they thinking? Now, remember, this is 6-8 months ago now. He said, there's fear, Alan. They're fearful. They're afraid because they don't understand. They don't know what's happening, and they don't know legislation. They don't know the rules. They don't know, what laws are coming their way, and they don't know enough about the subject. So I was like, wow, fearful. Okay, I thought they were a little more caught up to speed than that, but clearly they weren't. So I just a month ago asked him basically the same question. I said, well, where are they at now? And he goes, oh, they're good, Al. Like, in 6 months' time, they went from fearful and in panic to, oh no, they're all good. They're ready to go. They're locked and loaded. They're ready to start selling. I went, what? Whoa, stop. What changed? There's no laws. We haven't heard any laws change. He goes, no, you know how lobbyists are. They've got all that nailed down in the backside. I said, so the lobbyists have already decided what they're going to do? He's like, well, pretty much. He goes, I go, well, again, what's the psyche of it all? Where are the traders at? He said, they're in, Hal. They've already bought the coins for their family, for their parents, for their children, for their acquaintances, for people they know. They're in. They're locked. They're loaded. They're set. They're ready for the bull. They got in. This whole drop that's been happening in the last 6, 8, 9 months has been a blessing to them all. It's been a blessing to all of us. Who has it not blessed? The people that we talk to, that we annoy, that we try and tell them what we know about crypto and the future and technology and where we see it coming and how it's changing mankind and the world and their economic lives. And they maybe never have had an opportunity like this in their whole lifetime, and they still can't see this one. And that's really frustrating to you and I. Really frustrating. And the harder we pound it into them, the less they listen, and then their eyes glaze over, and then you get the crypto stare, And, it's hard, because you want the best for everybody. And it's, we talk about it all the time, right? There's going to be a lot of thirsty horses out there because you can lead them to water, but you can't make them drink anything. And unfortunately, people don't really even understand what a asset is right now, and somewhat lost in the whole game of life to even see where their life could be in 5 years. But I get it. They're working hard, and there will always be that. I suppose that's the way the world works. But the story, uh, let's get back to the story. Al, stay on subject, for God's sakes. For once, would you? I, I wander, and there's squirrels everywhere around. Well, there used to be until the dogs. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep this PG. The dogs pretty much eliminated most of that, but they are all in. They're locked and loaded. They have an avenue in which they're going to sell. Now, I haven't really mentioned it on this show before, but I've been talking about the seven. And I don't really like naming coins because, people hold you to it and the rest of it. But you can imagine who the top seven coins are. They're the magic seven that the bankers have, I'll just go with the first two that everybody is obvious. And then in this group, we pretty much know XRP is in that top seven, of course. And there's three or four others. And I don't want to, that's not what my show is about. My show isn't picking winners. My show is to remind you how important your friends and family and you are, and how financially set you're going to be, because you're finally catching technology in a bottle and you're ahead of it. See, we couldn't get ahead of the phone. We couldn't get ahead of the internet. We couldn't get ahead of, you didn't have shares in Gateway in the old days of, selling laptops and being part of that. And that was all technology that only the people in the very top got wealthy from. This is different. This is bottom up, and it's going to be fun to watch. Now, that's really what I want to talk about also on my channel. I'm not here to pick your winners for you. I'm not here to decide, any of that. What I can help in the future is the hardest thing about being in crypto. And you guys don't know that yet. Maybe a few of you do, because you've been through a couple of bulls. The hardest part about trading anything, purchasing anything, is the selling of an asset. Bar none, times 10. It's far. You think it's hard getting your friends to buy something. The hardest thing to do, that you will look back in your life and say, I sold too early, or I sold too late, or I should have sold more, or I sold too much. Those decisions, the selling of, is what I hope to help you with, because I have trading experience and many years of trading experience, and also investment experience, mainly bad experiences. I've done my share. However, I don't know anybody that crushed the real estate market the way I did. I got out in late '07, and everybody and their brother looked at me like I was crazy. And I'm not just talking about these financial gurus that say, oh yeah, I predicted the crash. No, I sold both of my homes. I got out. The peak. I think it might have gone up another 3 or 4 months after I got out. So I get them right sometimes. I'm 50-50. But what I'm really going to help all of us with is, once you've made it, once, like this show, 6 months, a year, 2 years from now, this show is going to be the show that's going to be able to help you retain your wealth, hold on to your wealth, where to store your wealth, what to do with it, who to share it with, how to share it with each other. I don't mean you giving me anything. I mean how we're going to plan together as a team and as a crew, and we will help each other and guide each other, because you're about to be the new rich. You're going to be the people that are going to be having to make all those financial decisions, and then you're going to be the person that's going to be, how do I retain what I have, Alan? How do I do that? How do I keep all of my family? We hear about all these sports athletes and other people who their family members just drain their accounts and their life, and they work so hard and they've sacrificed everything to gain this wealth, and then it just gets leached out away from them, and they end up broke, and it's sad. We don't want that. Okay, we don't want that. We're going to crush it, this crypto market, and we're going to retain it, and we're going to do great things with the money and for the people around us. But there's a great saying, and I use it all the time, and you'll hear me say this many times in the future. You can't get sick enough to help someone get well, and you can't give enough to the poor to make them wealthy. You, we all have to do it for ourselves. And once you do it for yourself, you can help others. But if you allow them, they will bring you down. And they don't mean to. They're not trying to be greedy or anything, or they're not trying to obtain what you have. They're simply trying to exist and live a prosperous life as well. So, all of that to say, you're in the right place. Don't worry about the top 7 I talked about. That's just the coins that the banks are all enthralled with. That's what they love. They love those. And oh, that's guaranteed. No. There's the top 50 or 75 to 100 coins will absolutely go ballistic. The wave of adoption is coming. We've been talking about this for 6 years that I know of. It's coming. All the news is saying it. All the bankers are saying it. And now I'm telling you, Wall Street brokers are buying it for their friends and family. That's not being publicized. It's another point I'd like to make on the show. If you hear about it on Bloomberg or if you hear about it on TV, that's what they want you to know about it. You should probably do the exact opposite of what they say most of the time, or you should at least take it with a grain of salt, because the media is not your friend. News is not news. News should be called old. There's nothing new about it. You're way out ahead of those people. You're way out ahead of the media. And that's why I really get frustrated with some of these, a lot of shows where I try and listen to what's coming in crypto. They're just telling me what those people want us to know about it. They're not talking about the greatness of what it's going to do for mankind. They're just talking graphs and charts. And anyway, I've talked about that a million times. So you're in the right place. You're with the right group of people. If you're in the top 50, you're going to clean house. You're going to do really well. And then it's going to be up to you to make the right decisions with your life and your finances. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a blast. I've done well a few times in my life. And every time I do, it's really the journey going to the point of the manifestation of the wealth that is the fun part. And that's where we're at. We're in this bottom of the market right now. And right now, you're going to be saying to yourself, wow, I bought XRP at 45 cents. And people are going to be like, oh my God, you did what? Yeah, you'll be laying on a beach in Cabo somewhere and trust funding the whole thing up. And people will be blown away at what you paid for these coins today. Blown away. I got stories where I bought my first Bitcoin at $400, I think. So it's amazing where we're going. This is the new wealth wave. One other point that I almost forgot to bring up. They have nowhere else to put the money. Okay? The bond market's dead. They just threw $3 trillion at the stock market and it couldn't keep up with crypto. It didn't keep up with the crypto market. And they know that now. So all those brokers now are in. And if all the brokers are in, they're packaging it all up. They're waiting for regulation. And okay. They're waiting for regulation to do what? To sell it to your friends and family. They're going to make a commission off selling something that your friends and family could buy for no commission. But they'll pay it because it'll be easy. It'll be one click and, oh, I don't have to worry about it. And it's secure. And it won't even be their own wallet. It'll be the, whoever, sad. But that's what's coming. And the brokers are excited about it. And they're going to make billions of dollars off of the general public and the new wave that is coming. I don't know when. Could be. I know they're locked and loaded and they're ready and they're just waiting on legislation, obviously. And let's talk about what regulation means. Regulation is a level of, I almost said what I really think of it. Regulation is manipulation. Just remember that. Anytime you hear a politician, a banker, or a government person, we need to regulate, that means manipulate. That's exactly what the word means. Okay, guys. So regulation means somebody at the top gets to manipulate so that they can profit. Anyway, that's the world we live in. And on that one point, I wanted to say something the other day. It's so important that we understand this one. Okay, PayPal came out and said, oh, we're going to fine you $2,500, and people are concerned about AI and all that stuff. I'm going to come up with a more in-depth show about this, but I want you to just think about this. The only solution to that tyranny, if you will, is crypto. Think about that one, guys, because that's an upcoming show. All right, guys, I'm glad you guys were with me, and we had the cats and a couple of dogs out, and I hope you guys enjoyed that video. All right, with that, I'm Alan with the Staple Crew, and I'm out.